Welcome everyone to an awesome game between myself as Nurgle going up against the Ogre Kingdoms and Zamorak. Now we're going to be playing on Kislev Troll Country with a rather interesting game. So starting at the frontier for the Ogre Kingdoms, we are going to be seeing quite a few units of the Noblars. So it's going to be 4 in the frontier backed up by the regular Ogre Balls. So we're going to be having some good weapon strength here and really dissipating the damage of the monstrous infantry. In the back pocket we are going to have the legendary Powder Guts, the Man-Eater Ogre pistols, which also have the adaptive tactics. So here in the back when they're losing in melee combat, giving those melee buffs is going to be rather powerful indeed. So it's going to be armor piercing for the missile strength, armor piercing for the weapon strength, and then 160 range, which is rather strong. And I really like this. We are going to come with the double giant, an absolute Chad play here from my boy Zamorak, and this is a really fun game, I must say so. For the hero, we are going to have the Fire Belly. He's going to be ready in the middle. He's going to be bringing quite a few items, including Kindle Flame. And also here coming with the Mass Fire Resistance and Missile Resistance, making it a little bit more of a tanky boy indeed. But he's going to have Flame Storm, the Flaming Sword of Ruin, Fireball, as well as the Flame Incarnate, and then also Fire Breath. For the Lord choice, we are going to bring the Big Bad Tyrant. The man, the myth, the legend is going to be ready here on the battlefield. He's going to be having snacks, he's going to be healing in melee combat, and then also Arse Belcher, which is just by far the best named ability in the game. On the right, 1 unit of the Lead Belchers coming in with the double bronze chevron, so they are going to have a bit of reload skill, melee defense, leadership, and accuracy bonuses. So a really nice force here coming for the Ogre Kingdoms, and they're going to be charging downtown up against my Nurgle. So on the flanks, 2 units of the Chaos Furies of Nurgle, and 2 on the left as well. In the front, we are going to have some Plague Bearers, and in the rear as well, making it 4 in total, and then 5 units of the Mass Nurglings. And there's going to be a couple of reasons why I'm bringing the Nurglings, but I'll get through to that in a minute. In the middle, we are going to have the Festering Stooges, the Regiment of Renown coming through here. The Exalted Plague Bearers are extremely powerful. I'm a big fan of them. They do actually have the ability of the Festering Gate, and then also the increased ability of the Gloomer Flies, which actually gives terror, which is super nice. But really good missiles here, coming in at 54 armor-piercing missile strength, also poison, magical attacks as well, good leadership, and the fact they can regenerate and then also resurrect models when they're at full healing is just absolute filth. In the back, we are going to have the Cultists of Nurgle. He's going to be bringing through just on foot here with a bit of healing with that regen, and then also the Gate of Nurgle. And as you've seen, we've got the big Grandpapa Plaguefather. Kugath is going to be coming forward today, and he is looking meaty. Pestilence Decay here with that physical resistance, alongside the Arcane Conduit, the Children of Nurgle, and the Slime Trail. He's also going to have the Nurgling Infestation, so that's for all units of Nurglings around him in a 35-meter radius are going to be getting regen, which is really powerful. Cloud of Flies there for himself, giving that melee defense, and then also some pretty decent spells. So we're going to be having the Fleshy Abundance, as well as the Stream of Corruption, and also the Contagion, which is really good there. Up to 5 units in a 30-meter radius, going to be having negative 40 melee defense. Also, the Plaguefather's abilities, that's basically going to be stand your ground for melee defense and leadership there in 35 meters. So a pretty good force here, and it was a bit of a risk. I did kind of think, well, if he goes mass artillery, I don't really know what I'm going to be able to do about it. I did think about going some range tools, so getting some flyers with the death heads might have been quite good, but I went here for 4 Furies and a bit more of a force here with mass Nurglings, kind of expecting a bit of an attrition play. So we did actually go with the Furies, which were quite nice at compromising the Powder Guts, and then also the Lead Belchers in the back. Lead Belchers, they do have 50 armor, which is, relatively considerate. But, of course, they don't really have the melee stats to back that up. The Powder Guts don't have quite as much armor, but those melee stats are just nasty. So we're going to be shooting with Kugath. He's going to be firing to the front, a little bit of damage up against the Noblars, and now we're going to be focusing down and poisoning the Powder Guts. That's going to reduce their melee strength, and then also their missile strength there for armor piercing and base weapon damage. At the front, we are going to be having the Plague Bearers waiting here for some good charges from the Ogre Balls, and I really wanted to back it up here with Kugath and the rest of the crew. Coming around in the back, we are going to have the Chaos Furies. Really want them to dive on top of the Lead Belchers. Just compromise them nice and early. And a little bit of unfortunate here for Zamorak. He's going to have both units on top of each other. So we are going to be shooting in, getting that poison ability, and now we're going to fight in melee combat. So we are going to compromise the Lead Belchers at the front, stopping them from shooting. I think I was a little bit slow here. Yeah, it's a little bit slow to get these bad boys on top. I think I was microing quite a few things, trying to get away here from this beautiful Flamestorm in the middle. Really nice there from Zamorak, really just trying to get rid of my Nurglings. And these bad boys with regen alongside Kugath is just absolutely filthy. Oh my god, a fireball into the backside of his own giant is really unfortunate there. Kugarth's going to be fighting in hand-to-hand combat. He is going to use the Plaguefather ability, giving that melee defense up to 79. Plus the fact he's also going to get Colour Fights in melee combat, and then he's also going to have the Pestilence Decay. That's just going to whittle down all these units in a 35-meter radius. On the right-hand side, we are going to be clogging out quite a few units. Nurglings backed up by the Cultists here with a few summons. We're going to the Plague Bearers and Nurgles on the right, and then we're also going to get a Stream of Corruption down the line here that is actually going to imbue some poison. Curse the Slug here just going to be slowing down a few units on the right-hand side, just kind of pinning them in place, making sure they can't rotate. And these are going to be the champions of old. These unit of Plague Bearers, hold on to these guys, just keep an eye on them because they are true champions, and you'll see why in the later stage. In the middle here, it looks like we are going to get a Gate of Nurgle, so I'm going to be summoning forward here some more Plague Bearers to kind of thicken up this right-hand side and just kind of prevent all these units getting in alongside the melee mess in the pocket. So the double giant here and also the tyrant in the middle going to be fighting alongside Kugarth, and it's going to be just a ginormous mess in here, throwing up everywhere. And in the back here, did I actually mention the Stooges? You can see they're going to be firing into the front here up against the big giant, so really using those missiles of mass armor piercing to just do the good burly damage. So he's going to be whittling down here rather quickly down to 6,300 HP. The other giant here is going to be on 10,300, so the boys are rather tanky. In the back, we are going to be doing some good work here up against the Powder Guts, taking some out, getting them good cycle charging. But over on the right-hand side, we are going to be seeing here the unit of Lead Belchers getting escorted by the Chaos Furies. As, you know, I really do like to see that, as they're a ginormous nuisance here for the Nurgle faction. So I do push out my Nurglings, trying to chase off here the Ogre Balls. We do actually have a unit of the Plague Bearers charging out, and just trying to see if we can get rid of the monsters' infantry, getting them away here from the middle four, so I can kind of focus down the big boys. We are going to get some armor sundering thanks to the Cultist Fecundity, which is the law faction ability of Nurgle. The second one there is going to be healing all of these units. And we can see, look at these Nurglings, they're just super happy, they're really healthy, and they're going to be fighting like true champions in the middle. The Festering Stooges aren't going to be helping here in melee combat, they're going to be fighting like true champions up against the ginormous giants. They do have that splash damage, but of course here we can keep all these units nice and healthy, so they can just keep nice and in tip-top shape as they fight up against these ginormous giants. And look at those swinging pendulums there in the middle. But these boys, they're ready. They're going to be slamming with the tyrant here in the middle. This triple threat is certainly rather dangerous, but we do actually manage to have our own double threat with mass Nurglings, which is going to be going rather well. So look at the champions. They're going to be holding in the back here the Ogre Balls and the double Noblars. These boys are really holding the left-hand side true. Going to be getting the Stream of Corruption down the line there of the mass Noblars, doing hopefully as much work as I can to help out this left-hand side. Another unit of champions, we are going to have one of the Plague Bearers just holding off the Fire Belly here in the back. We are going to get a Flamestorm. This was a rather painful one. I did see this and there's really not a lot I could do about it. You can see I try and get a few units out of the way, but the Flamestorm just absolutely tears out the backside of my Nurglings, and these boys are not happy. So they're going to be on fire. They're not going to be regenning very well, and this is a little bit unfortunate. But we do see here, Kugarth is going to be doing a number on the double giants, but the one still going is going to be the Tyrant. He can heal in melee combat. So he's going to be doing rather well indeed, but the Giants sadly do not do that. We do actually have some Noblars on the periphery, backed up by Ogre Balls, and we actually moved out the Nurglings. The champions are going to be trying to get into the backside here of the Powder Guts, trying to compromise. We're actually going to have a bit of a scrap-on-scrap fest here. We are going to have Nurglings going up against Noblars. I don't know if I've seen ever a wetter contest, but either way, the boys here with the pokey sticks, they're going to get in up against the fun boys, as I like to call them. These boys, they roll around, they do all these just stupid animations, but they're just going to try and compromise the Powder Guts. I do use the Curse of the Slug to try and slow down the Powder Guts. Just keep the compromise here by the Nurglings, just being a general nuisance, as slowly the attrition war is going to be won here by me. Balance of power pulling into my favour. Samarek is throwing absolutely everything here into the front line. Kugarth is standing really strong at 14,100 HP. We do see the double giants are going to be breaking. It's just going to be the Tyrant left, and we're now going to be chasing with quite a few elements. One of the giants does fall, and we are going to see the second one is going to be running away. We do actually have some of the Noblars charging into the front line, screaming as they try and charge here up against the Festering Stooges. The Tyrant is going to be pushing into the middle, trying to get backed up here by quite a few units. Balance of power further and further pulling into the Nurgle favour, as the Lord Choice is going to be pulling out and away here from Kugarth. And I don't blame him. A big man like that on the chair with a, you know, sort of a mouth for a stomach, I want to be as far away from him as possible. I do forget about my Furies, but never mind. In the back here, we are going to see the Powder Guts. They do manage to turn, and they are about to burn here up against Kugarth. We do win here in the back, or we are winning, I should say, with the Plague Bearers. They're going to be fighting here up against the Fire Belly. And look at the champions! They're still going to be holding up against 3 units, doing really, really well here in the backside. That poison and mass weapon strength really doing a number here on the triple infantry units. So we did return here with the Giant. He's going to be wavering down to 135 HP. We do actually charge the Cultist out. He's going to be having the Plaguefather ability, but it's going to be a bit of a head-on-head fight here for the big clash of Titans. We do break here. It is going to be Army losses. GG's and well played to my opponent, Samurek. A really, really fun game, and I know, of course, there was multiple ways here I could have lost with this Nurgle faction, but I kind of backed there wasn't going to be too much range. I think the obvious way to play is just to go mass range, and then Nurgle kind of has to get aggressive and deal with that. But I thought, let me try something a little bit different. Let me try and see if I can make this work. So, Plaguefather doing insane, 108 kills with 2,850 damage value. Excellent stuff indeed. 450 there for the Cultists with a beautiful summon. 1,150 there for the Festering Stooges. We got those missiles in, and you know they did probably a good 50% HP damage there on the Giant. 440, 480 with 590 and 990 there for the Plague Bearers. Very nice stuff. We got 350, 660, 430 and 215 there for the MVPs, the Furies. Yeah, they really held this force together. We are going to 320, 130 through 295, 87 and 290 there for the Nurglings. For the Tyrant, we've got 515, 1,400 for the Firebelly, with 1,240 there for the Powder Guts. 670, 420 there for the Giants, with only 180 there for the Lead Belchers. I think Lead Belchers really suffer in this matchup. Of course, they don't have infantry units. We did have some of the Noblars back there trying to help, but I think these Lead Belchers, yeah, they did suffer just a little bit. 375, 440, 330, and 300 for the Ogre Bulls. 63, 88, 128, 140, and then also 370 there for the Noblard. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this fun game. If you did, please smash that like button. It really does help on the channel. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to know all your thoughts and opinions, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as I said in my last video, it really, really does help quite a lot. So other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all very, very soon.